I broke into my neighbor's house and beat him with a flashlight. I kicked down my neighbor's front door at 2 in the morning and found him in the kitchen. As soon as he turned around, I swung my maglite flashlight into the side of his head. He dropped to the floor and I hit him again and again. His wife and kids were screaming and I just kept swinging until he stopped moving. Red was spreading across the tile toward the fridge. His daughter was standing in the doorway in her pajamas staring at me with her mouth open. "Stop hurting my daddy!" I dropped the flashlight. His wife grabbed the kids and pulled them out of the kitchen while I just stood there looking down at what I'd done to him. His face didn't even look like a face anymore. When the police came through the broken door with their weapons out, I put my hands up and didn't say a word. They pushed me to the ground and cuffed me right next to his body. One of the officers checked his pulse and said, "He's alive, but barely," and I felt my whole body go weak. They charged me with assault with a deadly weapon and breaking and entering. My lawyer came to see me the next morning. "Your neighbor is in a coma," she said. "Cracked skull, bleeding in his brain, broken jaw. If he wakes up, he'll never be the same." I stared at the wall behind her. "His family is suing you for everything. His mother called you a monster. She said you've been watching him and waiting for a reason to hurt him." My wife came that afternoon and she didn't even stay long enough to sit down. "His mother followed me and grabbed me at the grocery store," she said. "She spit in my face and called me the wife of a murderer." I tried to talk, but she cut me off. "Our daughter's friends aren't allowed to come over and play with her anymore. Their parents think you're dangerous and crazy, and they don't want their kids anywhere near our family." She was shaking now. "And his little girl saw everything. She's only 7 years old and she told the police her daddy's brain was coming out of his head while you kept hitting him. She's going to be scarred for life. How could you do that in front of a child?" She left without looking back. My brother called that night. "Mom's not eating," he said. "She thinks her son is a psychopath. She keeps asking where she went wrong. What am I supposed to tell her?" I told him it wasn't what it looked like. "Then what was it?" he said. "Because right now, everyone thinks you're an animal." He hung up before I could say another word. My lawyer came back 3 days later with a different look on her face. "The wife reached out," she said. "She wants to speak for you at the trial." I didn't understand what she meant until the wife came to see me that afternoon. She sat across from me, and I saw yellow and green bruises around her throat. "Tell me what you saw," she said quietly. I told her I heard screaming through the wall at 2 in the morning, so I looked through their kitchen window and saw her husband holding her by the throat against the fridge. Her face was turning purple, and her feet were kicking off the ground because he'd lifted her up. I told her I saw their kids standing in the doorway watching their mother die. "I thought about calling 911, I said, "but then I watched him squeeze tighter, and I saw your eyes rolling back in your head. I knew they wouldn't get there in time. I had to stop and take a breath before I kept going. The flashlight was in my hand because I grabbed it on the way out. I didn't plan anything. I just ran." She was crying now. "He's been hurting me for 6 years, but I stayed for the kids," she said. She put a folder on the table. "I've been writing it all down because I knew someday I'd need proof he was killing me." She looked right at me. "If you hadn't come through that door, my kids would have watched me die. It's time for it to end." She showed the jury 6 years of records and the charges were dropped. He went from the hospital to prison.